Hello and welcome to Villa TV and to Matchday Live. It's like we never left as we're back at Villa Park. Premier League action returns following Aston Villa's FA Cup fourth round win on Sunday. It's the Tractor Boys who roll into town this afternoon, sat in the relegation zone, 3 points from safety and scrapping for their lives. But it's not going to be an easy task at all for Ipswich, with Villa now unbeaten in 11 Premier League games at Villa Park. And yet another win gained against Spurs in the fourth round of the FA Cup last time out.
Good evening, welcome to Villa Park, welcome
Perfect.
to Villa TV as it's a cold, slightly misty night in B6 at the moment, the fourth round of the FA Cup and the visit of Tottenham Hotspur for the right to go through to the fifth round. Moving forward now, Morgan Rogers, space towards the left-hand side, Ramsey inside the penalty box, early chance for Villa, Shane, oh, it's gone in, the goalkeeper missed it. Jacob Ramsey scores on the stroke of a minute. Lucas Digne started it all off. Picked out Rogers, Rogers for Ramsey. Chance baby, hangs on to it, Leon Bailey, Marlon, no, it's off the line, is it? Rogers! That goal's been coming for it, sounds like a long time. There goes the full-time whistle. Unai Emery turns and celebrates as he...
Yeah, it was quite the game, wasn't it? Welcome to the show. My name is Kate Tracey, and alongside me, three former villains, Alan McInally, Stiliyan, Petrov, and Hendrie. Just getting his gloves on there. Well done, sir. It is another cold one, isn't it?
Yeah, it always is. It seems to be anyway, particularly when you're hosting it, and that's always.
I feel like I'm the jinx behind the weather
I think
now,
you are.
But the jinx is reversed because I'm the only one with an umbrella. So joke's on you guys, Stiliyan.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we never lost a game since we've done it.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Good omen.
Yeah, we're looking
Good
at
omen.
another exciting one.
I might take my jacket off then.
Practically tropical weather for you, Alan McInally.
Absolutely. Listen, what a day to play football at Villa Park. A little bit of drizzle, that's skidding off the pitch. It's going to be absolutely brilliant.
You always talk about this weather,
Oh, love
perfect
it.
football weather, don't you? But
For a striker, it's just a dream. This is a dream because
for you guys, it's great.
yeah, well, I suppose we have to think about both ends. Even for the middle of the park and wide areas, you can get the ball. If you get your passing going really early and get it zipped in, and if they get in tune, etc., wait for a mistake, wait for someone taking an extra touch, which they will. That's when we have to be right on it. And it's yeah, I'm really looking forward to this today. It'll be excellent.
Lee, it feels like we haven't left Villa Park now, but we're not going to be doing so for the next few games either. It is congestion and then some in terms of the fixtures, but at least most of those are at Villa Park now.
Yeah, I think, listen, you look at the league table and the way that teams above are slipping up to a certain extent. I mean, Chelsea, you look at last night, and you do feel that the next three games, I think, are vitally important for the football club, because being at home, we've been fantastic. Just that defeat in the league against Arsenal, you know, you take the next three games on and take all maximum points out of the three games. And I know it's a big ask, but you know, you do feel here's a fortress at the moment, so why shouldn't we? And all of a sudden, you know, we've got a massive heartbeat going into the back end of the season, which I think is the business end.
And Stiliyan, it's not going to be easy against Ipswich. It's the time of year. We talk about the congestion of fixtures, but these teams at the bottom, as I said in the intro there, are scrapping for their lives. This is the time of year where you can see an upset. We're hoping not to, though, obviously.
I hope not. I hope not. But this is they're the worst games we've played, and playing teams who are fighting for their lives, and they're trying to take every point is matter. They're gonna come back and sit back. But the way Villa is playing at the moment, and I think especially with the new players, the quality that Unai Emery and Monchi managed to add to the team, I think that gave a good lift for Villa in the previous games. But also today, it's about scoring that early goal, making sure, because we've done in the last couple of days, games, and we've managed to play well. Just being more clinical, scoring goals, and today could be a good few goals.
And being on the front foot, as you just said, against Celtic, against Spurs as well last weekend, Alan. It's something that you've been calling for a while. And every time we've interviewed Morgan Rogers post-game, feels like it's the first question I throw at him every time, is that really fast start.
Yeah, well, it's naturally you want to have, and so do Ipswich. They're thinking the same against us. Can they put us in the back foot and quieten the crowd a little bit? There'll be moments in the game today where Ipswich will have their spell in the sun. We need to make sure we restrict that to not very much. There'll be plenty of times where we'll have their foot on their throat today, and it's just about when we get an opportunity. Because if we score, immediately that doubt sets into Ipswich. You know, they've conceded, I think, the goal distance. You and I were watching. I'm trying to remember. I'm not looking. Minus 27. They are goal difference. Yes. That's a lot. That's a lot of goals to concede. So they already know that.
Considering the problems at the back, and Kamara playing at the back.
Yeah, well.
For Villa.
Yep.
Yeah, you understand that Ipswich, they do concede goals, but with Villa it's about the issues at the back, and that's what they have to be. And having Tyrone Mings,
well, that's why it's such a big game for Axel Disasi today. This is his opportunity. We've still, by the way, we've still got,
Is that the menu?
Konza out, Torres out, Cash out.
Is that the menu for tonight?
All three courses on it.
I'll have the steak tartare with 3 home goals. Listen, I just say, with Axel being able to start today, a good showing by him, make sure he wins every header, wins every tackle, but not so much that he reads the game in the way where he smells a bit of danger. If he has to take a step back, that's what he does. If he gets forward onto somebody, make sure they don't turn. We need to be on it today. I think we need to give them respect. I think the manager actually spoke about it, and he's going to say those things. But genuinely, I know they've been taking, they took a spanking against City, and Liverpool, I think, put 4 past them. If we can do the same, that'd be brilliant. But I still think you have to give them a bit of respect, because they've got players in their team that have had good seasons, albeit they're at the wrong end of the league.
Right, team news time. You both just teed it up there quite nicely for me already. So, first team that we're going to look at, of course, as always, the home team, Aston Villa, Emi Martinez in goal. Axel Disasi gets his first start then. Of course, he was cup-tied last weekend. He won't be able to play against his parent club next weekend, Chelsea. John McGinn, our captain. Yuri Tielemans back for more. Ollie Watkins is back into the fray after he came off at half-time against Wolves. Lucas Digne at left back, Andres Garcia again at right back. Donyell Marlin is on the right now. Morgan Rogers making his 50th appearance. Jacob Ramsey on the left. And Boubacar Kamara also at centre back. But look at that bench there. Tyrone Mings does feature on the bench alongside Marcus Rashford and Marco Asensio. Right, let's have a look then at Ipswich. Now, Alex Palmer is making his league debut for Ipswich, previously of West Brom, who of course made his debut for Ipswich in their cup tie against Coventry last week. Calvin Phillips starts, Julio Enciso, Kajuste, Johnson, Liam Delap, who's going to be the danger man, Amari Hutchinson, Connor Townsend, Jacob Greaves, Dara O'Shea, their captain, and Tuan Zebi as well. But again, look at that bench. Jaden Philogene features on the bench for Ipswich. Solely, starting with Aston Villa, what do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Alan's just touched on a really big point, is that Disasi coming into the side today is going to be massive for him today. And, coming up against the likes of Delap, who I think has been absolutely brilliant for Ipswich, by the way, and he will be a breath of fresh air. He will ask questions for sure. So I think having that understanding, Boubacar Kamara playing in that centre-back role, which he's had to play in, and been quite magnificent, I must admit. But, I think having an understanding, particularly in the centre-half roles, you automatically, you're on the same wavelength at times, where I think Kamara coming from that midfield role, and playing in there with not really having an understanding with Disasi, I think that's one to keep an eye on. But having Ollie Watkins in the side, as soon as I see Watkins, I feel that we're going to score goals. And listen, Morgan's been fantastic. The team's been brilliant. And then you look at the bench, and I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal what the bench achieved when they come on against Spurs. It really did give everyone a lift. And all of a sudden, I feel like that buzz has come back around Villa Park again. And I think that's down to the signings that have been brought into the football club.
There's so much excitement, isn't there? But great to see that Jacob Ramsey is keeping his position in the start on the left there, because of course he's got the most competition, arguably, of all Stiliyan, with Marcus Rashford sitting on the bench, but he's earned his shirt in that starting 11.
Of course, and fair play to the manager.
Yeah.
when you have so much quality now in a team and so many good players, it's about giving the respect to the players that done the job. I think Ramsey has been outstanding. I think now he's looked like he's back to his match fitness. He has managed to get a couple games in this belt. He's putting some great performances, scoring goals as well, and he fully deserves to stay in the team.
Now, we talk about Ipswich, Alan, and of course it wasn't ideal when we went to Portman Road, and we speak about Liam Delap. He was running rings then around a few of our defenders in that game, and he had a magnificent game as well. But of course, they were 1-0 up, went 2-1 to Villa, and then them getting the 2-2 draw in the end there. But it was a tough game.
Yeah, it's a tough game. Listen, and it'll be tough for other teams going to Portman Road as well, because that's exactly what it's like. It's a great football stadium, incidentally. If you've never been, you've got to go. It's really, really good. And they can, they build a momentum and a bit of a noise at Ipswich. They really do. That boy has had a great season, and he will be on the lips of a lot of big clubs in the summer of that. There is absolutely no doubt. I think I'm right in saying, was it Morgan's first goal for us? I think.
Yes, it was.
I think it was Morgan's first goal. Yeah. I'm trying to remember the game actually, because it seemed just so long ago. But nevertheless, you're thinking obviously it's points for us dropped, because there were spells in the game when I thought we had chances and we could have scored more goals and put them to bed. And then obviously they grabbed themselves a point. That was the goal I was talking about there about Morgan. But just rather than talking about Ipswich, I'm going to say that the manager has made a massive decision today. And the biggest decision for me is to play Jacob Ramsey in front of everybody else that's in today. And I think he does deserve his place, and he's done really well, and he looks like a bigger goal threat. That boy as well, he'll score today for sure, because I had breakfast, Ollie Watkins, I had breakfast with him on Thursday morning.
That'll do it.
Why do you think it's a surprise that he keep his place?
No, I'm not saying it's a surprise. I think it's a big decision by the manager, one of the best decisions he's made today, to say to the lads, listen to me, you're doing exactly what I want you to do. You're getting goals, you're being a goal threat, and you're being part of the team. You're doing the forward stuff, and you're doing the defensive stuff. Because it would have been easy today, easy for him to start Marcus Rashford today.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
I do.
Asensio more than anyone.
Well, he was brilliant when he came on, and you're right, because it alleviated some of the pressure. But I think there's a lot of people in here were thinking, I wonder whether he'll play Marcus Rashford today.
I think Unai Emery has made this point, and every single new player who came in, he never come into the starting line straight away. He wants him to integrate him into the team, about what he wants from the team, how he wants to play. And it seems like he gives them time. He gives them time to adjust, adapt to it. And I think Ramsey, he's been incredible. I mean, he's
brilliant.
He's dribbling with the ball, taking the ball to the opposition. He's been magnificent. I think he should be the last one to drop him. Even he's been playing in a wider position, and he can play through the middle as well.
I think he's a big outlet for us. I really do. And since having him back, and Stan touched on a really big point, is that he looks back to full fitness. He looks sharp. He looks bright. He looks like he's got a bit between his teeth. And I tell you what, he's got to be looking over his shoulder now, because seeing the likes of Rashford, Asensio on the bench, you're thinking, I tell you what though, there's a big point to be made, is that Emery is going to have some big calls to make, by the way, because you've got Kamara, who's been outstanding this season and playing centre half. You've got John McGinn, who's been absolutely brilliant in that midfield role. Tielemans. There's going to be some big shake-ups, but they're going to have to buy in to what the club is trying to achieve this season.
It's kind of what was kind of intimating too. Not the fact, I mean, we all love Jacob Ramsey, and he should be in the starting lineup. Yeah. But my point being that the manager must have been thinking, I've got a player here that's played with Manchester United, played for his country 60 times, and I don't know what he showed him between Monday to Friday this week, but it would have been weighing not heavy on the gaffer. That's a wrong way to put it. I just mean it could have been an easy call for him to say, I've brought you to this football club, and we're playing Ipswich today, who are in the bottom three. This might have been the time he went, go on then, go on. We're playing a team that we're meant to beat. You come on, I'm going to start you from the beginning and put a bit of pressure on him to say, on you go then. Show me exactly what you've got, and show this lot at Villa Park exactly what you've got. That's kind of what I meant, and say, okay, let's see what kind of pressure you can deal with.
Yeah. But Ali, when you play for a big club, and when you have a lot of good players, sometimes you have to wait for your turn.
Yeah.
If you're a good player and you perform, you could go for months without playing if the team is winning.
I don't remember ever doing that.
It's one of the
But I heard that happens a lot.
Oh yeah, you were the one taking up the team there. But yeah, it's a backwards compliment to players and to a team as well. Talking about how far a team have come, the fact that you do have to wait your turn, even if you are a bit of a star player in your own right. But one player who has been ever so consistent, who has been a stalwart of Aston Villa, has been Lucas Digne, and he sat down with the Villa TV team earlier on this week.
How are you enjoying life at Aston Villa? It's great
no,
fun, I would
this
imagine.
season now, for me personally, since 2 years now, I'm enjoying my life, my football, and this year more because we have Champions League game and I miss it. And no, it's really good for me to play at this level in national team too. No, it's top.
Some of the Champions League nights this season have been really special, haven't they?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. No. We qualified for the top 8. It was really tough, and now we have to keep going.
How hard has it been to nail down that position at left back? Because there's a lot of competition for places in this Villa side now.
Yeah, no, there is competition everywhere now, and you have to accept it, or I think, or leave football. It's because now, if you want to improve, you need competition, and is the most important is the team. You have to accept that and to work for the team.
You seem to have got a really good on-the-field relationship with Jacob Ramsey, who's really blossoming again.
No, and out of the pitch too, because he's a nice guy, and I really enjoy him to play alongside of him. He's a really good player, and he has his capacity to carry the ball and to skill. He's a really good player. He impressed me a lot.
What was it like playing at Villa Park?
He's nice. He's special atmosphere. No, really. He's big family club, and you feel the fans behind you pushing you, and they love their club, and it's just amazing to play there.
And just looking ahead to the next game, it's Ipswich, battling for survival. What are you expecting?
No, a tough game. Like I said, Premier League and more this year is really difficult, and we have to be prepared for a tough game. We will play at Villa Park, is our fortress, and we have to show that.
That's all I live for. A session missed, or a session or a game called off, or it's my worst nightmare. The players used to take the mick out of me saying that I had my own position, kind of, because I just used to go.
Did you just bet?
Yeah, kind of used to go where I wanted to. A club wants you, it's one thing, but if the manager wants you, it's another thing. It's come from the manager. He's desperate. He's seen something in you, and yeah, I hate to admit it, and I don't like it at the time, but that's the best way to get the best out of me, is to be hard on me. If I knew Guinea before and he did it, then yeah, might have been pulling my leg.
Yeah, make sure to catch Morgan Rogers' podcast there on Villa TV. Alan and I had a great time with that. He's also a very good quizzer as well, Alan, isn't he?
I think he was brilliant again. You listen, everything's going right for him. He's playing with the right club, he's playing with the right manager, and he's playing with a bit of freedom. And with a bit of luck, he'll score again today. He's in that kind of fashion. He's sitting in the dressing room right now, and he can see himself scoring a goal. Let's hope he manages that.
And before we heard from Morgan Rogers, we heard from Lucas Digne, Stiliyan, and he was talking about today's game and what a tough ask it's going to be. And we said that this is not a game to be underestimated.
Not at all, not at all. I don't think any Premier League game should be underestimated. And we mentioned about a team who's fighting for their lives, and they try to gain points. Ipswich will come here, they'll defend and they'll try to frustrate Aston Villa. Can they do that? I don't think so, because the team is playing very well. And me and Leo were just talking about it. The longer that the game goes, when you look at that bench, you start to feel it, because you've got a lot of quality to come on and to make a difference, to make the team much better. So I think Aston Villa is in a very good place before this game.
And Lucas Digne was basically following on from what we were saying about Jacob Ramsey. He was saying that how much he loves playing with him, and on that left-hand side, the strength that they have there now, saying he's a great guy, but also the form that he's in. Lucas Digne was saying that he can feel it himself, which obviously resonates throughout the whole team.
Yeah, of course it does. I mean, listen, this is a sign of things to come in the future for this football club. You know, the top teams you look at everyone and around the squad, and they're all pushing each other to get into the side, to wear the shirt, and this is what we want at the football club. We want to get the best out of our players, and that's what we will see from the likes of Jacob Ramsey. We will see like the likes of Morgan Rogers. They will go through a dip in form, but that's when you have to utilise the strength and depth that you have in the squad. So it's brilliant to see that, and you know, I can't highlight enough the signings that were brought in January were absolutely top class, and that just want to achieve.
Yeah, and JJ, he's got his goals now. We waited quite a while, but it's almost like London buses, isn't it? West Ham, I mean, Spurs, he could have got about 6, Alan.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's probably disappointed he didn't get more goals, but listen, if we have everybody in that kind of form and looking to get into the box and create chaos for other defenders, that's what we want. By the way, I will a little bit of, okay, well, this is obviously the game here, isn't it, and the goal. Sorry, I wasn't watching at the screen there. Sorry about that. I was going to say,
bring it a bit closer, will you?
I haven't done a lot of TV before. And by the way, if you remember rightly in the West Ham game, he had a chance just before this to do exactly the same thing and didn't make the run, and then he made that run and stuck it in the back of the net. So listen, he's absolutely in great form, and with a bit like I say, when you get in that kind of form, and you know, Lee and I know for sure, when you start scoring goals, you see yourself hitting the target, you see yourself having a strike on target, you see yourself going past the defender, and you see yourself being quicker and take it. You don't need an extra touch. Everything's in sync with you, etc., etc. I'm just going to say, I was only going to say something briefly there. This lot have taken more points away from home than they have at home in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So we just need to tread a bit carefully, and we're showing goals here for Morgan, goals for JJ, goals for Ollie Watkins, etc., etc. This is what they have to do all the time to make sure we keep them in the back foot and they don't get anything from Villa Park here today.
There is a question for you.
No. The answer is no.
No, playing different teams is, do you think Ipswich will leave that much space behind when they know what Villa can do, or what kind of players they've got?
But that's what he's got a problem today, Kieran McKenna, with, Bud, because does he go gung-ho and try and take us on, or does he play with 3 and wing backs and play with 5 at the back? Probably. I don't know. I mean, you'll maybe know better how they set up.
I mean, I don't think he will. I mean, he hasn't. He's changed the formation at times, but I think they will be pretty solid and compact, won't they? I can't. Listen, they have to give Villa so much respect. Yeah. There's no doubt, but. You know, you could give a team too much respect, Howard, can't you? And you know that, Stiliyan, yourself. You know that you come here, you see the stadium, the pitch is fantastic. You know, this is one thing that where they've probably struggled is that the jump from the Championship to the Premier League is absolutely huge. So, listen, they can't go gung-ho today. They will, I feel. If they do that, I think this could be any score.
Well, we know how the game's going to go, probably. They're going to concede possession to us most of the time, and they're going to try and hopefully we'll give the ball away, and they'll hit us on the break, and they've got the big boy Delap that can run with the ball as well as hold the ball up. So we kind of know most of the plan that's going to happen. A point is a prisoner for Ipswich today, 100%. And we've got to make sure chances we have, and we need to keep pressing and pressing and pressing and keep them under pressure, because eventually they'll fall, we'll score, we'll win.
Well, shall we hear what the gaffer's made of today's game then? Unai Emery and Kieran McKenna both sat down with the media yesterday to preview today's game.
And tomorrow is again a very good opportunity for the team, for the player, for the supporters, how we can face tomorrow a Premier League match with the player we have and with the style we want to try to get performing, of course, but as well trying to transmit something. We are trying to transmit not only our idea, as well our wishes, our energy. And tomorrow in Villa Park again is a very really excited match.
No, I think it's clear really, the team who are through to the knockout stages of the Champions League, worked now for 3 seasons in the Premier League, or I guess coming up to 3 seasons maybe, with a top manager, have a fantastic squad, have added to that squad again, have some tactical similarities to us, to be fair, and how we've been over the last few years. So they're a team that we've looked at over the last few years as, you know, an example in certain phases of the game. So we're pretty familiar with, you know, the things that they do, and it's going to be a big challenge, no doubt about it. But you know, it's one to look forward to.
They are performing very well. I appreciate a lot how they are playing, competing. The coach really, he's showing us his process and his progress, really being a good impact tactically. And then with the player they have, they are playing and performing very well. Of course, they're in the bottom in the league, but it's because as well, after they promoted last year, the first year in Premier League has been very demanding. But they are competing very well, really very well. And tomorrow I know it's going to be a very difficult match, and we have to respect them a lot. They either tactically try to stop them as well, try to impose and dominate the match like usually we want to do. But we have to be focused 90 minutes because it's going to be a tough match.
Yeah, he's no doubt a top manager. There's lots to admire in the work. You can see how thorough that the work is by how thorough his team is in all phases of the game. And yeah, he's done it for a long period of time now. As I said before the first game, we faced him a couple of times with Villarreal as well, which was a really, really impressive side that he built there, and you can see a lot of the same hallmarks in this Aston Villa team as well. So yeah, undoubtedly a top coach, and you know, sets the team up really well.
Yeah, great to hear from both managers there. And Lee, Unai was talking about the fixture congestion. We know he's not one to complain, and he wasn't complaining, but he just said we thought we were going to have more breaks or more days off than we're actually going to be getting in the next 2 weeks, but every game is still as important.
Yeah, well, listen, you know, we've ended up staying in the FA Cup, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
And obviously we've got the Champions League, and the main feature is the Premier League. So, you know, these days it's congested, it always is, and that's where you have to utilise your squad. You know, I listened to him about using the team in general. You know, at times there'll be players that will be needed for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. This is where you need to look around the squad, need to get everybody back fit, which is going to be so important for the latter stages of the season, because that's going to be really key for obviously the amount of games that we're playing continuously. So it's hard, but you know, you have to understand that this is the way it is, and we have to use that.
And it was interesting, Stiliyan, I always find it very interesting when Unai name-checks a specific opposition player. He name-checked Liam Delap in that interview there, so obviously he thinks he is the danger man.
I think everybody does.
Yeah.
We did. I mean, he's just full of energy. He makes some clever runs. He can score goals. When you play in a team like Ipswich, you have to be the main man. If you play up front, you have to score goals. You have to make the difference. So far this season, they have struggled, but he was the only one who has managed to create chances or to get himself chances, because he's got the quality to create chances for himself. And when you have a player like that, you always praise him. And Unai Emery, I think he breaks everything down to the little detail, and he knows what their strengths are, what their weaknesses, and it's something that Aston Villa have to be aware of it, because as Alan talked about it, they will be hitting on a break, and he's the perfect player who they can use.
He's going to be a top player, by the way, he will. And I mean, he's still a young man, and from where he's come, his pedigree, obviously his dad was an ex-player, nothing like his dad, by the way, the long throw-ins, Rory, but
yes,
you know,
of course.
The thing is with this young man is that I think when you look at the side he's playing, this is quite a young side. There's some young, talented individuals in this team, and he's one of them. I think you take him out of that team, and I tell you what, I think they'd absolutely struggle, because the way they're going to set up and the way they're going to approach this game, he is their counter-attack, he is their outlet for them, because he's got pace, he's raw, and he's still learning the game. He's a big danger.
I tell you what, we're very professional. None of us get distracted by a ball absolutely fizzing through the four of us then.
Tried to bring that back.
I know you did. To be fair, you deflected it quite nicely, to be honest. Right, plenty more on today's game in just a few minutes, because of course the under-19s were in action again in the UEFA Youth League then, and of course they got through to the next round.
We're live from Hungary. Here comes Broggio, first minute of the second half. Great stuff from Villa into the penalty area. Gets the crossover. Will it break now? For Pavey it well. Gets the shot in. And it's Mason Cottrell's that got over the line. Surely it's got over the line. They celebrate. Aston Villa have broken the deadlock. Foyle. Artem Tishuk. Ball in from the left. Villa wants another one. Pavey! Yes! He got an assist for the first. And it's Villa's number 10, Charlie Pavey. to give the away team breathing space in this European tie at the Pancho Arena. And he's been the player to surge forward. They've given the ball away here, though. And now the Puskas Academy feel there might be a little glimmer of hope for them. And here's the pass, and it's in! And they're back in it, out of nothing. They got the ball, and it's the danger man, Mondovic. He's been excellent this season. He's got himself a goal, and they've reduced the arrears to 1. Zahoran plays the pass, and the home side now. This could be their moment. Good work by Routh, it had to be. Danger hasn't gone for Villa, though. In stoppage time, it's Magyaric, gets the cross in. It's against the crossbar. Oh, within a whisker of making it 2-2 and getting into a penalty shootout. The frame of the goal comes to the rescue for Aston Villa. There's the full-time whistle. Charlie Pavey paves the way for Aston Villa's youngsters in Europe. An assist for Koch's first, then he scored the second before a tense finale. Mondovic's got one back for Puskas Academy, and they hit the bar in stoppage time. But Villa, make no mistake about it, are worthy winners here.
Yes, fantastic to see the under-19s pulling out that performance against Puskas Academia at the Pancho Arena. Did you see the arena?
The game here. I came to Villa Park to watch. It was absolute. The guys were brilliant.
Yeah.
It was rocky towards the end, and they kind of hung on a little bit, but the guys were magnificent. And yeah, I literally sat in the stand behind us and watched the game. It was fantastic. And now we've got a home draw, 1 game only, with a bit of luck up here at Villa Park. Fantastic they did.
Barcelona.
Barca.
Oh.
Goodness me.
Barca.
What opportunity, what experience for the young players to play against Barcelona, to see a different style. And it's great to see that they're improving and developing nicely.
Definitely so. So we wish them all the best of luck, of course, in the world going forwards as well. And they really seem to have grown in the competition as well, haven't they? Right. Now, something a bit different for you, because, of course, today is the Premier League's More Than a Game campaign, bringing together Premier League and football clubs to celebrate how funding from the Premier League and club community programs, such as the Aston Villa Foundation, positively impacts the lives of millions around the country. So I'm delighted to say that we're being joined by actor and Aston Villa Foundation ambassador, Ollie Felt. So Ollie, so great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Nice scarf as well, by the way.
Yeah, I thought I'd come prepared on a day like this.
Exactly, because you are a Villa fan as well.
Oh yeah, I've got a season ticket over here, and
only just today. He's only just bought that scarf.
Because of course you are here today for the Aston Villa Foundation. So just tell us a little bit more about what today is.
Yeah, so today's the Foundation Day, really. So it's dedicated to all the work that the Foundation do, including all the projects. There's 40 projects, more than that, which serve the local community. The main thing about the foundation is it helps the local community around Villa Park. So to some guys, they don't come for the football, they don't have an association with the football club, but to be able to have that link obviously spreads the Villa family, as it were.
And how important is that impact that football clubs can have on the surrounding area around their stadiums? Just how important is it?
Well, yeah, it's massive. If you think, like on a regular Saturday, like to go to the shops, you've got 42,000 people rocking up. It could make that a bit difficult, but also you've got to remember where we are as well, and the social situation about some people who are here. They don't have access to certain facilities, and the club are able to provide that, including like one term what they did once was the Villa Vision. So they help people out with vision and glasses and stuff like that. Stuff that some people can take for granted. But with the work that the Villa do, they're able to assist that. Also job opportunities, sports opportunities as well. And being a Villa fan, it's just great to be part of that.
And in terms of the ambassadorship then, of course, for the foundation as well, because we know Nathan Dorries, Catherine Merry, Adol Ray as well, so there are a whole load of you, but what does that mean to you to be an ambassador?
Yeah, I think, well, I'm never going to be like these guys and put on a shirt and play for Villa, so if I can represent the club in some way, then great. But also as well, it helps out with the fundraising as well, so I've been able to do a abseil off the top of the Holt End here, did McGinn's Mars a couple of years ago on the bike, just raise a bit of money, and there's constant stuff going on throughout the year what any Villa fan watching right now can get involved with.
And how can they get involved with the foundation?
Well, just all sorts, really. Just have a look at the Villa Foundation website or follow them on social media. There's fundraising activities as well, like, you know, they did a sleep out here, which I haven't actually done. I like my own pillows.
What month do they do that in?
I believe it's in the spring, so it's a bit
okay.
warmer
That's
than
okay.
This. Yeah. Then there's also like some golfing stuff we're looking at doing, and just
there you go, Alan. Alan's
yeah.
ears pricked up at that.
Funnily enough, I'm going to mention the foundation because there's at Warwick Racecourse next Friday is a foundation for the a day at the races for the foundation to raise money and awareness, etc. And you know, if you want to come, by all means come. We'll happy to have you, and looking forward to that. So that's next Wednesday, Warwick Races, Aston Villa Foundation.
How important is for Aston Villa to have a strong and powerful foundation, helping the society, education, health? How important is to be associated with a club who have a powerful foundation?
No, it's massive. If you think all the strides that the club have done on the field, like playing Champions League, but yeah, there's no point in doing that if you can't leave a good legacy for the local community and the greater Birmingham area as well. So it's so important, and it's a great thing to have the club to be able to do that. It's not all almost, some people could see a football club as take, whereas they're giving back, definitely.
It's a fantastic role to have, isn't it? Especially for you being such a Villa fan. So we've got to ask you, how do you think the season's gone so far?
It's been all right well, apart from if you include any game after a Champions League, that can be a bit frustrating.
We tend to ignore those.
Yeah, but on a whole, it's been amazing. Like, we've had some great away days, we've had some great fixtures here as well, great atmospheres as well. Like, I mean, the Bayern game, the atmosphere was out of this world. So looking forward to the next leg of the competition as well.
And what are you expecting from today's game?
3 points. That would be nice.
Scoreline.
Scoreline.
Yes.
I'm gonna go high. I'm gonna go like 4-1.
Oh, amazing! Yeah. We would take that all day long.
I'm going higher, so don't worry about it.
What have you got?
I'm going higher. I'm going 5-0.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be fair, I didn't think anyone was going to top you there. Stiliyan's not one to be beaten, and there you go. He's got.
By the way, Ollie, he hasn't got any right yet this season. By the way.
No. Ambitious.
Yeah,
ambitious.
that's it. Yeah.
Oh, well, Ollie, thank you so much for joining us, and out in the cold as well. But we know that you've got a really busy day, so we're going to let you go. But thank you so much again, and yeah.
That's great. Thanks very much.
Cheers, guys. There. Ollie, thank you.
We'll do that.
Cheers. I know, I've got my hands full. Some man to multitask there, but big thank you then to Ollie Phelps for all of his work there and everything that he does for this club, and of course coming to speak to us as well. But we're not too far off of kick-off now, lads, so we've just been doing a little bit of previewing there. I wasn't going to get your score predictions to the end, but Stiliyan's gone in there early.
5-0. Yeah, I'm going big.
Oh.
I mean, with the players you've got, with the players with so much quality, I mean, Asensio, you've got Rashford, you've got Oli back, you've got Jacob on form. You know what? You've got players that can score goals, and I think we deserve a good score, a big score. So I'll go 5.
He's exuding so much confidence today. He's like bursting today. But I'm going to pull us in a little bit and just go goal in the first half, goal in the second half, 2-0. And I will be delighted because the 3 points. I know, sorry.
Oh, this is.
Sorry. If you were playing in the middle of the park and I was playing up front, I'd say 5-0. But I think if we win 2-0, set midweek game up against Liverpool, 3 points are important for us today. I mean, genuinely, Kate, they are. I mean, we're laughing and joking and we're talking about the players we've got, but you're right. We're in good form. The lads are confident. All the results we've had in the last couple of weeks are setting us up. We've had a great January window. We look forward now. We look forward to all the games coming up. We start today.
Now, we got the score predictions out of the way early, so it gives me a good opportunity to be able to reflect back on the Spurs game on Sunday, of course, where we got through the fourth round of the FA Cup. We haven't been able to talk all that much about this, and with Cardiff now being our next tie on the 28th of February, if you missed that announcement yesterday, it is at 8 p.m. on the 28th of February, so make sure to get your tickets then for that game as well. What did you make of the draw?
It's a cup draw. I mean, it's a good playing home against Cardiff. I don't think we will have problems, but it's a cup game. You never know. And as the manager talked about, it's so many games coming up. He has to really rotate, make sure the players stay fit till end of the season. We're not talking about just the Cardiff game, the cup game. We're talking about end of the season. I think it's a comfortable draw, especially playing at home. So I don't think we'll have a problem progressing.
No. Were you pleased?
Delighted. I mean, genuinely delighted. There was a couple of banana skins, if you want to call them. I mean, and look at the results, remember, you know, with Liverpool getting beat, etc., etc. So, listen, a home draw's the big thing. We've got Spurs at home, we beat them. We've got Cardiff at home. It's another opportunity for us to go far in this competition. Let's hope we can manage to do that, because it's a long time since we've been to
I don't
Wembley.
think any of those clubs that are left in the competition would fancy coming to Villa Park.
Absolutely.
This is a big plus for Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Isn't it just? And if we win the next game, like I say, you don't want to preempt anything whatsoever, but if you get through the 5th round, you're into a quarter-final. Alan, as soon as you've got a final in the title there...
I'm not... Stop talking about it. It's
you don't want to look too far ahead in this game.
Listen, I don't want to tempt
the carrot's there.
It's just a little bit early. I think the draw has been relatively kind because it's a home draw, not because we got Cardiff. Ball incoming. But the fact that we've got an opportunity to put ourselves in the next round, that's the big thing. We're in the competition, and it would be lovely if we can go as far as we can. There's a big game today in the Premier League. This is bread and butter today. Let's look after this one first, and let's look forward to the cup game coming up.
Stiliyan, it's a cliche in itself when you say we just take a game at a time. It is always just the game that you've got laid out in front of you. But with the fixture congestion at present, it's tricky to be able to get that balance right, and especially then with the injuries we've seen across the Premier League. Aston Villa aren't alone in that.
Yeah, and managers, the staff, they will be planning. They'll be planning well ahead what we've got. They'll plan for each game. They'll make sure that they use the right players at the right time. But they will be planning. They know what is demand from the Premier League, where they have to be, the cup, where they are, what they're looking for. I mean, with the players that Aston Villa have, I'll tell you what, you'll be looking for the final. That's what I'm looking at. Can it happen? It's down to the players and the manager to produce it. Also the Champions League. We forget Champions League is big. And Bruges winning the first game, you've got a great opportunity. You've got Tyrone Mings, great opportunity. To knock them out.
I told you he's buzzing today.
He really is. He must have had 2 Bovrils today, I'd say, with that level of energy.
The boy.
But again, Alan, we talk about the run of games that we've got. We are very fortunate in a lot of ways that so many of them are at Villa Park.
Yeah.
And as the lads were saying earlier on, it has become a fortress. I said it's 11 unbeaten games in the Premier League now for Villa. So again, back here, and with the next few games back here as well, it's a chance to build that momentum.
Yeah, well, there's 3 games coming up that are huge for us. We start today, and we need 3 points today. Let's face it, we need 3 points. I mean, if you only look back at last night with Brighton beating Chelsea, then they've actually gone on the same points as us, but we can obviously take a step forward today. And it's really concertina in there, even 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, right down to where we are in 8th or 9th place, whatever it is.
Couple games ago, Unai Emery has made a great point. He talked about we've got big 6 games. Big 6 games where we have to pay attention to it, because he was aware of what was coming and how difficult it will be, because he's been through it. He knows what the players going through injuries, results, bad moments, and he have won, and now he's still got in the back of their head that he still have to put the right team to produce the right result.
I think if we can go undefeated here, and I talk about today and Wednesday and next Saturday against Chelsea before I think we go to Palace, I think it is, away from home, that would be brilliant. And hopefully we start with a win today, because that's most importantly. Let's win today. We'll look forward to Wednesday. We'll take from whatever Wednesday we can get from it.
So you both have already got it out of the way of your score prediction. So I'm going to ask you for a different prediction. A player who's going to make the difference today. Who do you think, Stiliyan, is going to make the difference? One player.
Morgan Rogers.
Yeah.
I think the way he plays, I think the teams are aware what he brings to the Villa team. He's just aggressive. He's got ability to drive with the ball, make the difference in the final third. He's just so unpredictable. And if you man-mark him, he go and find another position. If you put him under pressure, he can get away from that pressure. So I think Morgan Rogers could be the difference. Again,
he stole your answer, Alan.
Your favourite, eh?
Well, he is obviously one of my favourites, but I think Ollie Watkins will play a big part for us today. We've spoken about how good the boy Liam Delap is for Ipswich, being such a good player, and him not being in the team, they might be, miles away from even thinking about being in the Premier Division. I think Ollie will be in positions today where he might get a tap in, tapping, where he's alive to what's happening.
You love tapping, eh?
I know, tapping. I was just
He
thinking.
really does. Made a career of it.
I used to wait for somebody to shoot from the edge of the box like Gordon Cowens or David Platt, and the goalkeeper did, and we were like, thanks very much, and see you later, bye.
Tap-ins are plenty then. Hopefully we'll get to see about 5 of those.
I think Ollie will score today, and I think he'll be a big part of our holding the ball up, being a link pin, and making people young beyond them. Listen, we're nearly there. We're nearly at kick-off, and I'm absolutely bursting. I can't wait.
Yeah, Ipswich have just gone in. Villa have, a few of them are still already out, but most of the teams now are heading back. Most of the players are heading back into the dressing rooms now. So that is us done. Lads, thank you so much for all of your hard work as per usual. Big thank you to Lee Hendrie, also to Ollie Felt as well. Enjoy the game. Make sure to head over to Villa TV for live commentary of today's game. Your commentator today, Mark Regan, alongside Ian Taylor.